To anyone who will say to me, you can't judge something before you watch it yourself, or oh, you're just shitting on it just to do it and it's not fair, fuck you. Hey now, my name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am catching up on 2016 films. In this case, it's not really something that I'm interested in. It was something that I just wanted to get out of the way. Get it out of the way because it was Melissa McCarthy, an actress that some people love, some people hate, and I'm not too fond of either. The Boss. The Boss was directed by Ben Falcone, or Falcone. He is Melissa McCarthy's husband. So that explains it. That explains it all. Because you have your certain types of Melissa McCarthy movies, right? You have the movies she makes with Paul Feig, who most of them are funny, right? Bridesmaids, The Heat, Ghostbusters. Let's not talk about that. But for the most part, those movies are funnier than not. Spy was really funny. Now, the movie she makes with her husband, that's a different story. Remember Tammy? Anybody? Yeah, that movie was horrible, but that pales in comparison. That movie is actually one of the funniest movies in the world compared to this bullshit. Because The Boss, we see Melissa McCarthy as Michelle Darnell. At the very beginning, when she was a little girl, she grew up in this orphan home, and every family that took her in eventually brought her back. Nobody wanted her. She grows up to be one of the richest women in the world, owns her own business, until she gets put in prison because she did something illegal. Who the fuck cares? When she gets out, nobody wants to take her back. Nobody likes her. Besides her old assistant, played by Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is in this movie. And she invites her to a house. She's living there with Kristen Bell and her daughter until Melissa McCarthy can get back on her feet. Now, what the fuck am I doing watching this film? I wasted almost 2 hours of my life that I'll never ever get back. I won't. It's not even like sometimes you watch those movies that are so bad, so horrible that they end up being good, or they become guilty pleasures, or they become movies that, fuck it, you'll even watch with your friends to get drunk to and play drinking games and make it fun and do this and that. This movie just doesn't deserve anything. Doesn't even deserve this review. I can't begin to talk about how awful Melissa McCarthy is here. She's terrible. It's like the jokes. This is her and her husband writing these jokes, writing this material, improvising like crazy. You can tell that everything that Melissa McCarthy says in here is her improving and probably thinking is the funniest thing in the world. Her and her husband laughing behind the camera. It's like, oh, aren't we so funny? Look at how many millions of dollars we're going to make. But no, this is some bullshit. I never once laughed at them. Never. Ever. The only chuckle, because I'll never give this movie credit to say that it made me laugh. No, but it made me chuckle at Tyler Labine, who is an actor that pops up in a lot of comedies, usually makes me laugh. Some people probably recognize him from Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, very funny movie. He had a moment where he asks Kristen Bell out on a date and she turns him down. And his reaction to that made me chuckle. It did. And the only other time was when Melissa McCarthy was going to babysit Kristen Bell's daughter, and she decided to put Texas Chainsaw Massacre on, and that was amusing. But 2 scenes out of over an hour and a half of a movie. Fuck you. But before I get ahead of myself, let me talk about Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is such a talented actress. She's obviously attractive, but not just that. She's smart. She's intelligent. She can do any type of role. She can do any type of movie. I'm sure she should be able to do it, any type of movie. If this is the type of films that she can get, the only type of movies that she's relegated to, then I'm sad. I'm officially sad because she's better than this. She's so much better than this. It pains me to see her play the straight person here who has to deal with this nonsense. I mean, I know it's her character, but the scenes where she's telling Melissa McCarthy to get your shit together, stop acting like an idiot, stop doing this and stop doing that. It's like, yes, You relate to Kristen Bell so much because you want to say that to her. Every character in this movie that treats Melissa McCarthy like shit, you don't blame them. This character is so unlikable, so annoying, so clueless to the world and how people act with each other. I never once feel bad for her. And it's like, am I supposed to feel bad for her? How could they not realize it? It's just, oh, it's Melissa McCarthy. She is just naturally likable, right? So we can write her to be a bitch as much as we want, and people will still like her because she's supposed to make us laugh. But she never makes us laugh, especially in this movie. You get Peter Dinklage. You almost forget, because Peter Dinklage is so good and Game of Thrones is so good, that you forget that he does some shitty comedy movies, especially. He'll do it. He's willing to do it. And in some sense, you respect him because he's willing to go outside of that and do different things. But this film, it's painful to watch the scenes that he's in, and he's trying to do something with this material. He's trying to elevate it, but it's not happening, dude. It's really not. Especially the end with him on the katana sword, and it's just it just doesn't make any sense. Kathy Bates is in this movie. She won an Oscar for Misery. Remember that? Well, maybe she forgot because she agreed to show up in this film for whatever reason. Again, we got some people who owe some personal favors to people in Hollywood because that's the only thing that makes sense of how they said yes to this movie, how this movie even got made. You get the side plot of, as Melissa McCarthy's trying to get herself together, she comes up with some idea to start selling Girl Scout brownies, and it becomes a whole competition with the other person. And I'm just sitting here. It's like, how did this happen? How did this cliched, just overly generic plot veer off into this even more cliched, uninteresting, uninspired plot? Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie for everything it stands for everything that it's doing to current modern day comedies. This is why you can't find, it's hard to find halfway decent comedies nowadays. It's because you have people and their husbands or their wives getting together and only making themselves laugh. And I'm not just shitting on Melissa McCarthy because she's a woman or because I don't think women are funny. That's not true, because I've been shitting on Adam Sandler recent comedy movies recently as well. So it goes for a lot of people in comedy who are just slacking off. They're coasting off of the same material, off of the same shit, and I'm pissed off. If you couldn't tell, this movie's bullshit. This movie's awful. It's terrible. I don't even want to hear your opinion on it because hopefully you stayed away from it. You did not watch it. You were smarter than me, and this wasn't even in your radar. Good job, because clearly I'm an idiot and I watched it because I try. I try to be open-minded. I try to give something a chance, and look what happens. I get pissed off. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this review? Was I accurate? Was I clear in my opinions and my thoughts? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.